it is a playground game, and it's the best team with the best player.
Yeah,
the players are going to win. Nothing's swaying it anyway.
Who are best players in your mind? Who would be your top 3 or 5 players all time in your mind?
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson
would be. Kobe's up there. LeBron is up there. Kareem's up there. There's just so hard to just kind of.
It's interesting you didn't say Jordan.
Yeah. He's certainly up there.
Yeah.
I think Kevin Durant is an anomaly with what he can do. Mm-hmm. I think his skill set for his size is bar none. He and Anthony Davis are very in that realm. The game's changed a lot. When you got guys that are 6'10", 6'11", who can do that outside stuff. Like you're saying, the post-up game isn't where it's at anymore. It's a lot of cutting, slicing.
Right. Well, also because the defense is legislated out. You can't have your arm in the back of someone anymore. Right. There's no hand check on that. A lot of those things that would necessitate putting your back into somebody to try to negate that and just throw weight against it. You don't have to do that anymore because they can't check you.
Right. And the quickness of these guys now is unbelievable.
Anthony Davis is 6'11". He handles like a point guard.
Yeah.
It's funny. But I do have a hard time thinking about anyone really changing the fundamental way the game is played anymore, more than maybe Seth Curry. Just the idea of shooting from really anywhere on the court, before, he'd take more three-pointers in a half than you'd see 2 teams take in an entire game in the 80s,
Sure. Absolutely.
And if you ever saw someone, take a three-pointer with their foot not as close to the three-point line as possible, their coach would be yelling at them.
Exactly.
For someone to take it 8 feet beyond the arc or something like that, it's unheard of. And for him to be able to do it with confidence and all that, and then see so many people do that now.
Yeah. It's a different game. But it's fun. What's interesting though is even with the 3-pointer and the way the game is structured now, back in the 70s, they still scored more points.
I know, isn't that wild?
Yeah,
that's wild. And and they'd be beating themselves up beating each other up on the court.
Killing each other.
They had to have games on delay because it was so violent,
Yeah, it was run and gun. It was wide open, but that was really the age of the big man.
Right.
It was Willis Reed, Nate Thurman. They were all post up players, but the games would go to 100 and 140, 135. But now that's rare.
Yeah, it's starting to creep back up there. Yeah, it's starting to be like you see 125. 20 years ago, it'd be like it was definitely at least an overtime game, but now it's a regular game. And holding a team under 100 points is pretty rare now. But yeah, I will say I think that's the changing of the game, especially in the last 20 years, is probably a very supporting argument for LeBron being, kind of greatest, or if you're going to have that kind of argument, because to think about it, he came in right at the tail end of there being very defensive play, and being able to dominate in that, and then and then him really changing the way that teams are constructed by kind of putting the ball, pardon the pun, the ball in the hands of the players in terms of making decisions on how they're going to form these super teams and trios and super duos and things like that. And then to live through the switch to a 3-point shooting dominant game and switch his game up to do that. And then to switch his game up to be an assist leader, to do all of that in one career. And then you take into that, you watch every team he leaves immediately becomes the worst team in the league. Yeah. Whereas Jordan left for 2 years of the Bulls in the mid-'90s, they still made it to the conference finals.
Right, right. And on the other hand, wherever LeBron goes, he makes them a contender.
Yeah.
He is an anomaly. When you think at 35, I've been seeing him do some things that 25-year-olds have a hard time doing.
Right.
His speed and strength is just
so strong.
Yeah. And to still have a touch, from the outside, he'll still hit the threes.
Yeah.
He'll hit some of those crazy threes. You'll go, geez, that's a little too far. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah. Yeah. He is, it'll be a good argument at some point.
Especially if he wins this.
Yeah.
If he wins tonight or would that be on Tuesday? Three different teams, and to take 5 different coaches to the finals, and to be in the finals 10 times. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. I think last year was the first time he wasn't in the finals.
It was the first time he wasn't in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yeah.
But it was the first time he wasn't in the finals in 9 years.
In 9 years,
yeah. Because he was there from 2000, it was 2010 or 2009, 2010 season, the last with the Cavs. Mm-hmm. No, because he got knocked out by the Celtics. Then he went, and it was 4 in a row with the Heat, and then it was 5 in a row with the Cavs, and then came here. Yeah, it's wild. Or it was 8 seasons in a row, and he had the one earlier where he got wiped out by the Spurs.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. Well, I think that's a good place to stop. I'm definitely going to want to have you on again.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to move my way through the neighborhood, but we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Great. Anytime, I apprite it. Fun.
Yeah, there's going to be there's a lot to be said. But I thank you very much.
Sure, you're welcome.
It's been great to getting to know you as a neighbor, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you again to Thaddeus Francis for being my guest today on the Thousand Tales podcast. I've been your host, Connor Logan, and it's been my sincere pleasure to have you listen in on the tales and stories of our neighborhood. We'll see you next time, and you can enjoy more Thousand Tales podcasts wherever you download your favorite shows. Have a great day. Take care.